Hello Aquarius, it's Viv here. Welcome to your weekly reading for the 23rd to the 29th of July 2018. I'm using the Modern Spellcasters Tarot like I did last week, and it's the 8-card spread as usual. One card which is an overall energy for the week, and then one card for every day of the week, Monday through Sunday. I'm also reading the card off the bottom of the deck, which for you guys is the Two of Swords this week, but I'll get to that in due course as we go through. Oh, you've got the Chariot behind it as well, very good. Okay, so the overall energy for the week is this one. Not an unwelcome card. I think I'd love it when this card comes. This is speaking to me more of commitment. Though this is not necessarily romantic commitment, although it could be. I think this is commitment to a new start, a new phase, to something new that's going on, that is going to be tremendously fulfilling for you. There's potential, there's promise here. There's commitment, and yeah, it's not, when I look at this card sometimes I think it's sort of like acceptance of the self, but I'm not getting that so strongly. Not that you aren't accepting of yourself, but what I'm getting, the stronger message I'm getting is this commitment to the next stage of your life is what I'm getting, more than a romantic thing. Now, it could be the next stage of your life, could be a romantic partnership, or it could be some passion that is so fulfilling and that you absolutely love, and you're committing yourself to that. But we'll see the influence of this card as we go through the week. There's the rainbow here as well, which is always sort of very optimistic feel to it for me. Okay, as we kick off the week, we have the Three of Cups, and this feels like release, it feels like relief, it feels like throwing yourself into something. So as we start the week, it could be having fun with friends and family, and really celebrating what's going on at the moment around you, the people around you, or the situation that you find yourself in. There's you're throwing yourself into having a good time. You're throwing yourself into this new commitment, whatever it is, and there's joy here. It feels like a joyous thing. Yeah. Are you worried about it? If it is a new phase in your life, making a commitment to anything, I think, is can be quite scary. But I don't see anything that you need to be worried about here. Insecurities and fear of leaving behind what you are familiar with and what you're comfortable with. Insecurities are natural. They might be burning away in the back of your brain there. They might be on your mind. You might be having some sleepless nights, but really there is no need to worry. I think the whatever it is that you're worried about is unfounded. And I notice the figure on this card, he's bound by his legs, but they're fairly loose binds, and he's bound sort of at the top of his arms there. His arms are crossed, but his hands aren't tied. So this is something that he can release himself from really pretty easily, and also take the blindfold off. And once he takes the blindfold off, then this sort of internal reality that he's experiencing at the moment will change, and he'll see the possibility that there is available. It's a work in progress. Perhaps this new commitment has something to do with using your education, using your skill. This card, the Eight of Pentacles, is about creating sort of using your skill, using your knowledge and your experience and your wisdom to create something solid and stable, to create something fulfilling. This is a card of dedication, and it's a card of reward. This will see you through good times and not so good times, and this little life that you're creating for yourself. This feels like although it's an Eight of Pentacles and it's quite far on there, I think the Eight is pointing to the accumulation of skill and experience that you have already, to take things to the next level, to move things on to the next phase, which is requiring another level of commitment. I think you are feeling your way, though you can't be expected to know everything. There are things that about the future that remain hidden, and because it's not happened yet. So the energies are there, but in universal consciousness, in the universe, there's no such thing as past and future. It's all now, so it's all there for the taking. There are things, I think, that you can intuit and know for yourself. You can feel internally whether something is right for you or not, and that's what I'm getting, that this kind of this dedication and this experience, this skill acquired, is creating something new for you. I'm thinking that you are, I'm drawn by the baby there, so I'm thinking that this is a new stage, a new part of your life, and it's fulfilling. All of this Eight of Swords here, this is like doing your head in, and you really don't need to. So there's lots of happiness and fulfillment and optimism here. So I think this Eight of Swords, is sort of like a flash in the pan moment of oh my God, am I doing the right thing? And the High Priestess showing up here overcomes all of this doubt and insecurity and really puts that to bed, and you remain committed to knowing what's right for you. And this Ten of Cups is telling me that there's a realization here that that this commitment that you're making is the right thing to do for you. So this card showed up in the last reading. The last reading that I did was Libra. So this is the Eight of Cups, and I said that this, in Libra's reading, that this was not so much a walking away but a walking to. Now it's funny that in your reading I'm feeling that this is a walking away from, that there is something that you've achieved, and it's not that you no longer need it, but it's like you've done it, and it's time to move on. It's like a stage that's completed, and now this is a new stage. and so you can turn your back on this particular part in your life, and it's really no sacrifice. It really isn't a sacrifice, because it's clear to you. It feels right. It feels good. You know? So, because this card is coming at the top of the reading, it's Saturday's card. So, it's the weekend that's coming. So this is like this top of this sort of, it's not like the World card, but it has kind of like that feel to it, that there's sort of like a successful completion here, that there's a walking away from a particular part in your life and committing to something, new, where you get to use your skills that you've acquired to build something solid and sustainable and fulfilling. I'm thinking that you probably don't feel 100% prepared for what's coming towards you. You might feel underconfident, you might feel inexperienced, but you have the skill and the knowledge. And so I think, rather than focusing on the enormity of the task ahead, you know, it's like focus on what you can do now, like in the moment. You know, we take our lives a day at a time, don't we? And I'm reminded of that saying, you know, you can, is it about how do you eat an elephant? You know, that you eat it one bite at a time. You don't have to stuff it in your mouth all in one. Well, it's impossible, isn't it? You can't like put it in your mouth all in one go. Who would eat an elephant anyway? But you know what I mean, right? It's like, it feels like overwhelming. It feels like an impossible task. So, like with a mountain, you wouldn't climb a mountain in one massive stride, right? That you follow the path and you take it one step at a time. I think this, because the Two of Swords is coming at the bottom of the deck here. I'm thinking, you know, this feeling of being unprepared, this suspecting maybe, you know, these worries and doubts possibly about the whether you're going to be able to accomplish what it is that you want to accomplish, whether you can do what it is that you want to do. I think you're keeping them to yourself. You're not sharing them with anybody, you know, you're kind of holding that back. But there is such a, you know, this card feels very strong for me. The top card feels strong for me as well. It's like it's sort of like, this is like, and I've said this on the other readings as well, that the Lovers is like the glue that's holding everything together here. It's the central theme, connecting with all the cards. But the energy that's coming from the Eight of Cups is sort of like cascading down here. But the Ten of Cups is like coming up to meet it as well. So there is a sense of completion, but the job's not finished yet. It's sort of like it's a starting, you know, it's a completion of a particular phase, and then we're moving on to the next phase, and the next phase you might feel slightly underprepared for, but you know, hey, you've got everything going for you here, Aquarius. You know, you've made the commitment. There's you know, you've got a double rainbow here. There's joy, there's optimism, there's a sense of fulfillment. You can do it, you know. And these worries, I think maybe it's these worries that you're choosing to keep to yourself. You know, focus on the feeling, Aquarius. Focus on the feeling of knowing what's right for you. And yeah, you don't have to worry about the worries. Let the worries take care of themselves. Okay, so those are your messages for this week. I hope you found that useful. I hope it resonated. I will be doing the monthly readings for August, and hopefully those will be up by before next weekend. and I'll also be doing continuing with the weeklies as well. So I'll be back next time with another weekly read. Until then, thanks so much for watching, and until next time, take care. Bye.